So you may be an endgame Skyblock player where you have a good armor, good weapons, and a good pet. So now what? Well, there's these things called talismans. These talismans will give stat boosts to if they're in their accessory bag or in their inventory. There's 5 tiers to these talismans: common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Each one gives better stat boosts to the player. Good players does these things called talisman spamming, which basically means you put all your talismans to help you gain stat boosts such as strength and crit damage. So the accessory bag basically lets you store all these talismans where you just go here, and the accessory bag, which can be upgraded once you level up your redstone, and it's just in your redstone collection. And there we go, you need 800k just to unlock the humongous accessory bag. The humongous accessory bag upgrade allows you to store 39 slots. First, we're going to talk about the craftable talismans. In the level 4 wheat collection, you could get the farming talisman, which increases your speed by 10% while in the barn, farm, and mushroom desert, which only costs 5 hay bales and 4 seeds. The vaccine talisman is also another common talisman, which provides immunity to poison damage while being held. It only costs 9 poisonous potatoes. The farming orb is unlocked at pumpkin level 6, which is an uncommon talisman, which increases the regrowth rate of nearby crops on the public islands, regrowing extra crop every 3 seconds. It costs 8 enchanted pumpkin and 1 enchanted glowstone. Mushroom 7 is where you will get the night vision charm, which is a common talisman where it grants the users night vision. It only costs 4 enchanted brown mushroom and 4 enchanted red mushrooms. The speed talisman can be unlocked at sugarcane level 2. It is common accessory increase, gives 1 speed when being held. It only costs 108 sugarcane. In Feather 4, we could get the Feather Talisman, which is a common talisman, increase how high you can fall without taking fall damage by 5 blocks, which can be later upgraded to a ring, and it only costs 108 feathers. In the same collection, except for collection 7, you could get the Feather Ring, which is an uncommon talisman, which just increased the 5 blocks into 7 blocks by 10%. All it costs is 7 enchanted feathers and 1 feather talisman. Lastly is the Feather Artifact, which is a rare talisman, which increases how high you can fall without taking fall damage by 10 blocks and reduce the fall damage by 15%. It takes 128 enchanted feathers and a feather ring. Next up in Raw Pork Chop Collection 5, you get the Piggy Bank, which is an uncommon accessory which saves your coins from death while it's in your inventory. It does not work when it's in the accessory bag. It costs up to 40 enchanted pork and 1 chest. Once you die with this in your inventory, it will become a cracked piggy bank, which to repair it, it only takes 8 enchanted pork and 1 cracked piggy bank. Once you crack the cracked piggy bank, it will become a broken piggy bank, which then can be repaired with also 8 enchanted pork. I just want to note that all 3 of these do not stack upon each other, so you can have all 3 of them in your accessory bag and all the effects will happen still. Next up in the Netherworld Collection 3, you get the Potion Affinity Talisman, which is a common talisman, which increases the duration of any consumed potion by 10% while held in your inventory. This does not work in splashes, and all you need is 144 Netherworlds. Next up is in the Netherworld Collection 7, which you can get the Potion Affinity Ring, which is an uncommon talisman where it increases the duration of any consumed potion by 25% while in your inventory, which costs only 8 enchanted netherworts and 1 Potion Affinity Talisman. Lastly, in the Netherworld Collection, Netherworld 9, you can get the Potion Affinity Artifact, which is a rare talisman by increasing the duration of any consumed potion by 50% while held in inventory. It costs 256 enchanted netherworts and 1 affinity ring potion. Next, in Cobblestone 8, there's a haste ring recipe, which is a rare accessory, gives haste for 15 seconds while breaking any block. It costs 256 enchanted cobblestone. Next up in Lapis Lazuli Collection 9, you get the Experience Artifact, which is an epic talisman by increasing the experience orb you gain by 25% while this is in your inventory. It costs 9 enchanted lapis blocks. In Emerald Collection 2, you get the Talisman of Coins, which is a common talisman where coins just appear out of nowhere on any island. It costs 20 emeralds and 5 gold. Next is the Magnetic Talisman, which is an uncommon talisman in Emerald Collection 3, which increased the pickup range by 3 times the normal amount. All you need is 120 emeralds and 32 redstone to make it. Next up is the Night Crystal, which is in Nether Quartz 7. It's a rare talisman which increases your strength and defense by 5 during the night. It costs 4 enchanted quartz, 1 enchanted quartz block. In Nether Quartz 8, you get the Day Crystal recipe, which is a rare talisman which increases your strength and defense by 5 in the day. It costs 4 enchanted quartz and 1 enchanted quartz block. Next up in the Obsidian Collection, in Obsidian 3, you get the Gravity Talisman, which is an uncommon talisman. Gives between 1 and 10 strength and defense the closer you are at the center of the island. This costs 144 obsidian to make. Next up is the Fire Talisman, which is a common talisman. Provides immunity to fire while held in your inventory. It's in the Blaze Rod 5 collection, and it costs 9 enchanted blaze powder. Next up in the Magma Cream section, in Magma Cream Collection 7, you get the Lava Talisman, which is an uncommon talisman providing immunity to lava while held in the inventory. It costs 9 enchanted Magma Cream to make. Next up in Oak Wood Collection 8, you get the Wood Affinity Talisman, which increased the speed by 10% while held in the forest, graveyard, and wilderness. It costs 1 enchanted oak wood and 8 oak leaves. Next up is the Healing Talisman, which is a common talisman in Lily Pad Collection 3. It costs 144 lily pads, which increase the healing by 5%. In Lily Pad Collection 8, you get the Healing Ring, which increases the healing by 10%. It's an uncommon talisman, which you just need 4 enchanted lily pads and a healing talisman to make. Next is in the Inkside Collection at Collection 8, you get the Bait Ring. The Bait Ring has a 5% chance not to consume bait, which is a rare talisman which only costs 288 enchanted ink sacks. The Sea Creature Talisman is in the Sponge Collection 4, where you just take 5% less from sea creature mobs, and it only costs 18 sponge. The Sea Creature Ring can be unlocked at Sponge Collection 6, which is an uncommon talisman, which you just take 10% less damage from sea creatures, which you need 2 enchanted sponge, 6 sponge, and 1 sea creature talisman. The Sea Creature Artifact is unlocked at Sponge Collection 8. It takes 15% less damage from sea creatures. It is a rare accessory. All you need is 64 enchanted sponge and 1 sea creature ring. Now there are some items you can get from the NPC, such as the Zombie Talisman, which only costs 500 coins. Basically, you just reduce the damage taken from zombies by 5%. It is a common accessory, which then can be upgraded into a ring. You got the Skeleton Talisman, which reduces the damage taken from skeleton by 5%. Costs 500 coins, and it is a common accessory. Next up is the Village Affinity Talisman, which is a common accessory. Increase your speed by 10% while being held in the village, and costs 2,500 coins. And then next up is Mine Infinity Talisman, which increases your speed by 10% while being held in the coal mine, gold mine, deep caverns, gunpowder mines, lapis quarry, pigman's den, slime hill, diamond reserve, and obsidian sanctuary. It costs 2,500 coins. Next up is the Intimidation Talisman. Level 1 monsters will no longer target you. It's a common talisman which costs 10,000 coins, which then can be later upgraded into a ring. The Scavenger Talisman will make monsters drop coins when they are killed. Costs 10,000 coins and is a common accessory. Next up are the events talismans, where you get the talismans from a certain event, such as the Spooky Festival, Jerry Workshop, or like a New Year Festival. Next up is the New Year Cake Bag, which is an uncommon talisman right here. holds a New Year cake, each with unique New Year cake will grant 1 health to the player, and it is sold for 250k coins to the baker. That usually is over here, but the event's not happening, so you can't buy it. There's also a bat ring, which is an epic talisman, which gains the user 3 HP, 2 speed, and 2 intelligence. It is sold by the Spooky Festival or the Fearmonger at the same shack where the baker is, which is over here. It costs 1 bat talisman and 64 green candy. The bat artifact is a legendary talisman, is what I have on my head right now. It gains the user 5 HP, 3 speed, and 3 intelligence. It is also sold at the Fearmonger, which costs 1 bat ring and 64 purple candy. Next up is the Candy Talisman, which is an uncommon talisman. Increase the chance for mobs to drop candy by 5% during the Spooky Festival. It is sold by the Fearmonger for 16 green candy. The Candy Ring is a rare talisman which increases the chance for mobs to drop candy by 10% during the Spooky Festival. It is attainable by the Spooky Festival or the Fearmonger, which you have to pay 1 candy talisman and 64 green candy. The Candy Artifact is epic talisman which increases the chance for mobs to drop candy by 50% during the Spooky Festival. You can obtain it by the Spooky Festival or the Fearmonger, which you will need 1 candy ring and 32 purple candy. The Intimidation Ring is an uncommon talisman, which monster at level 5 or below will no longer target you. It is sold by the Spooky Festival or the Fearmonger, which you will need 1 Intimidation talisman and 100 green candy to make. The Intimidation Artifact is a rare accessory, which at monsters at level 25 or below will no longer target you. It will be sold from the Fearmonger for 1 Intimidation Ring and 100 purple candy to make. Next up are mob drops, which we're going to start off right here, which it comes with the Bat Talisman, which is a rare accessory which will grant the user 1 HP, 1 speed, and 1 intelligence. It will drop from bats, like really rare, and bats spawn on a roof forest island. Next up is a Spider Talisman, which is the uncommon talisman. Reduce spider, cave spider, and silverfish damage by 5%, which is dropped from the Broadmother, which you have to kill the boss in order to get it in the spider's den, which will spawn once every hour on top of the spider's den. So the Fish Affinity Talisman is a rare talisman, which basically you'll just catch 5% faster catch time. It will be dropped from a water hydra. Next up is the Wolf Talisman, which is a common talisman. Reduce the damage taken by wolves by 5%, which will drop from old wolves once in a while. Next up, we have the Tarantula Talisman, which is an epic talisman. You will need to have Spider Slayer level 6 to unlock it from a tier 3 Blood Father. And it will just make every 10th melee hit on the same enemy deal 10% more damage. Next up are the Matt from Slayer recipes from Maddox the Slayer. You will be able to get the Zombie Ring from Zombie Slayer level 2. It will cost 64 Revenant Flesh and 1 Zombie Talisman. Next up is the Devour Ring, which is a rare talisman in Zombie Slayer level 5. What you will need is 2 enchanted raw chicken, 8 raw salmon, and 39 Revenant Viscera. What this does is heal 5 heart HP when killing a monster, which has a cooldown of 0.5 seconds. The Zombie Artifact is unlocked in Zombie Slayer level 7, in which it will reduce the damage taken from zombies by 15%. It is a rare talisman. What you need is 32 enchanted iron, 16 enchanted diamonds, and 48 Revenant Viscera, and 1 zombie ring to make. Next up are from the Spider Slayers, which you can get the Spider Ring once you hit Spider Slayer level 1, which is a rare talisman. Reduce the damage taken from spiders and cave spiders by 10%. What you need to make is 64 Tarantula Web and 1 Spider Talisman. Next up is Spider Slayer level 7, where you can get the Spider Artifact, which is an epic talisman, which will reduce the damage taken from spiders and cave spiders by 15%. What you will need to make this is 32 enchanted emeralds, 32 Tarantula Silk, and 1 Spider Ring. You can also get a Survivor Cube, which is a rare talisman in Spider Slayer level 7. It will heal are 5% more effective on you. And all you have to do to get this is just hit Spider Slayer level 7. Next up are Wolf Slayers, where you can get a Red Claw Talisman, which is an uncommon talisman. Once you are Wolf Slayer level 1, and what it will take is 8 Wolf Tooth, 1 Enchanted Bone. At Wolf Slayer level 5, you can get the Red Claw Ring and the Red Claw Artifact. Red Claw Ring is a rare accessory, which will increase your crit damage by 3%. All you need to make it is 1 Red Claw Talisman and 8 Golden Tooth and 32 Enchanted Leather, which then can be later upgraded into the Artifact, which is just in the same Wolf Slayer level 5 collection, where it just increased the crit damage by 5%. What you need to make this is 1 Red Claw Ring, 1 Red Claw Egg, 54 Golden Tooth, and 128 Enchanted Leather. Next up is from Wolf Slayer level 7, which you can get the Hunter Talisman and the Hunter Ring. So the Hunter Talisman is an uncommon talisman. You will gain 2% more combat XP from monster kills, and what it will cost you is 64 Golden Tooth and 32 Enchanted Rod Flesh, which can be later upgraded into a Hunter Ring. Which the Hunter Ring is from Wolf Slayer level 7, which you will gain 5% combat XP from monster kills. It is a rare talisman, and it will cost you 256 Golden Tooth and 1 Grizzly Bait. Next talismans are you have to do a quest or a trial to get. Next up, we have the Pig's Foot, which is a rare talisman. As we go over here, it gives 1% speed, and you can get it from this guy over here, from Goober, if you complete the end race in 48 seconds or less, which you just go over here, if I can do it, and you just finish this in 48 seconds. For the next quest, you're going to have to go to the Gustave, which you have to complete a wood race in 32 seconds or less, which will give you the just a Wolf Paw. It's uncommon talisman, it gives 1% speed. The next 5 talismans are going to be used from the Trial of Fire, which you just talked to Ryan over here. You will get the Campfire Initiate Badge, which is a common accessory. It will heal 2 to 8 HP per second while burning. Once you do tier 1 to 4 challenges from talking to Ryan over here, which then can be later upgraded into a Death Badge, which is an uncommon talisman, which heals 10 to 16 HP per second while burning, which you will get once you do tier 5 to tier 8, but it will also cost 160 dark oak wood, which then can be later upgraded into a Cultist Badge, which is a rare badge, where it will heal you 18 to 26 HP per second while burning, which you will need tier 9 or to tier 13, and 1,000 spruce wood, which then can be later upgraded into the Skillion badge. This Campfire Skillion badge, I can't pronounce that, is an epic talisman where you heal 28 to 42 HP per second while burning, and you will need to do this, or you will get this once you are tier 14 to tier 21. All you need is 100 enchanted acacia wood, which then can be later upgraded into the Campfire God badge. For the Campfire God badge, which is a legendary talisman, it will heal you 44 to 60 HP per second while burning, and can heal 2 to 10 seconds while not burning. You will need tier 22 to 30, and you also need 100 and 1,500 enchanted jungle wood to do this. The next quest is the Romero's quest, which you would just come to the jungle islands over here. You'll have to do challenges such as mine some gold over there, but overall it's a tedious task, and I'll probably make a separate video on it later. Next up is the melody quest thing where you get the Melody's Hair, which is an epic talisman, which will gain 6 intelligence, and you will just come over here in the acacia part of the park, where you just complete all these songs. It's really good, totally worth it. Totally worth 5 hours of my time. The next quest is called the Lucius quest, which contains a lot of buying. So you have to go to the dark auction over here. You have to buy at least 5 items from the dark auction to get one thing called a shady ring, which is an uncommon talisman where you get 1% off of most shops. The crooked artifact is a rare talisman which you will do by doing the Lucius quest, where you have to buy at least 10 items from the dark auction, which can be later upgraded to the seal of the family. With this talisman, you get 2% off of most shops. Lastly is the seal of the family, where it is an epic talisman where you get 3% off of most shops. You would do this by doing the Lucius quest, by buying at least 15 different items from the auction. Dark auction. I'm sorry. The frozen chicken talisman, it is a rare talisman which gives 1% speed by going to a guy named Goulier. I can't pronounce it, but it's the person in the Jerry workshop where you complete 3 checkpoints in the chicken racing. The Ender artifact is an epic talisman where you can get it off the dark auction, which you have to bid against other players for it. It goes for a lot of money. But it reduces the damage taken from Endermen, Ender Dragons, and Endermites by 20%. The same thing to be said with the Wither artifact. It is an epic talisman. You can get it from the dark auction. It costs a lot of money. Reduces the damage taken from Withers by 20%. Lastly is the Wolf Ring. It is a rare talisman. Reduces the damage taken from wolves by 10%, which you get it from crafting 14 enchanted bones, 1 wolf talisman, and 1 weak wolf catalyst, which you can get from the Soul of the Alphas in the Birch Forest caves. So now what do you do once you have all the talismans? Well, you go to here, to the blacksmith here. You take one of your talismans, such as the Zealous Wolf Ball. You reforge it. I don't have enough coins, but typically you want to reforge all your common, uncommons, and rares to itchy to get the most crit damage out of it. And for the epics and legendaries, you want to reforge it to strong to get the most damage out of it. Overall, thank you for watching this guide, I guess. Please subscribe and like the video because it'll help me a lot. See ya.